Welcome back. The conversation with Mr. Sunday Oduton, who is the Executive Director, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, continues now. Thank you so much for sticking around. Just before we continue with that answer you were giving us with regards why it seems as if we're having estimated billings for most households, could you quickly respond to this from one of our viewers? At J. Humbo, he says, will Mr. Oduton tell us why the private investors have not been able to raise credit? Did they underestimate the industry?
Not really, Dr.
No, it's at J. Humbo. Is a tweet from one of our viewers.
Okay. Thank you very much. The truth of the matter is that you cannot get credit from any financial institution if your business is not viable. For them to lend you money, they have to be sure that they can recoup their investment. And even with all the problems that we have, it's not about underestimating the system. What we are hoping and what we were promised was that from the onset, there will be such a tariff that will be the appropriate pricing, otherwise known as the cost-reflective tariff. Okay? And I would also like to just quickly just mention a few of the factors that influence tariff and supply of power itself. You have to look at the cost of gas, the increase in the cost of gas. You have to look at the bank interest rates. You have to look at the foreign exchange rate. You have to look at the investment in networks that you have to do, which are very heavy. Same thing with the investment in technical and commercial equipment. You have to look at energy theft. Energy theft is a big issue because when people steal energy, what that does is that it increases the cost of operating that business. And we have done so much to catch many of the thieves, but the problem is that it's not something that a disco or an industry can do on its own. We need the support and cooperation of the members of the public, because if they don't report it, we may not know about a lot of this. We also need the cooperation of the security agencies, as well as the judiciary itself. So we are all in it. And that's why I said it's a vicious cycle. Unless we do something about it, we might just be talking about this all the time. For me, the way to go is for us to, first of all, and we also have vandalization of our equipment. That happens all the time. I got a call yesterday from somewhere in Ogun State, I think in Abeokuta, where the whole area is now in blackout because the equipment were vandalized. These were done by Nigerians, not done by foreigners, some people from heaven. So what I'm saying is that all these things, and the issue of non-payment is so high, people simply don't pay for electricity. We have facts and statistics that show that people only pay for about 40% of their bill. What happens is this. They give them, even people with meters, postpaid meters, they have a bill of 5,000. The normal thing for Nigerians, they will just pay 1,000 or 2,000. Even the staff, the marketer that goes there, sometimes encourage them to pay low. Or sometimes just give the person, tip the person 500 naira. The person will go. By the time they come back next month, the area has gone up. He will pay the same 2,000. So the 5,000 this month, he pays 2,000. Next month, another 5,000, he pays 2,000. Now you're talking of areas of 6,000. And as time goes on, it will mount, and that's how this thing goes higher and higher. That's another thing, culture of non-payment.
So what's next for Nigerians? Because these tariffs come up on Monday, whether Nigerians like it or not. Fixed charges have been removed. So we're going to be paying this new tariff. Now, what's next for Nigerians in terms of, would they be getting regular, constant power supply? Because that's definitely one of the reasons why the tariffs have been increased.
Okay. The first thing I will say is this. I will implore all the stakeholders, first of all, to please not scuttle the process and to allow this tariff to take off on Monday. If it does, then we can begin to see better times. If it does not, then we are going back to dark ages. I'm actually employing everybody that is concerned who can take decisions to ensure that this thing takes off. I'm also employing those who have gone to court to scuttle it, and those who are part of what I call the generator mafia to please not set Nigeria back. I'm just appealing to all of us on this. Now, fixed charge. Fixed charge was removed just in response to the yearnings of Nigerians. And what we now have is that from Monday, you won't pay for electricity that you do not consume. Because once you switch off, or when there's no light, when there's blackout, you know, in the time of fixed charges, whether you use it or not, you have to pay fixed amount. In some location, as much as 750 naira, and that is not there anymore. That's a plus, and that's huge. It's a lot. Now, again, we'll begin to have a semblance of better service. But, like I told you, all these new tariffs will go to the generators. We need to generate more. Unless we generate more, we have a long way to go. And when we generate more, the one in the middle, and I'm happy you must have listened to the news on what happened yesterday, but the one in the middle, Transmission Company of Nigeria, also need to get their act together. They need to be well funded by the federal government. If you want to do this thing, we have to do it. And we have to make sure that if they generate an amount of electricity, the Transmission Company of Nigeria can transmit it, can will it to the point of distribution. That's when it now comes to us. So like I said, it's the beginning of a journey. We are just at the second stage of like 4 or 5 stages of a long journey. So I'm not going to promise Nigerians uninterrupted power supply, but I can promise Nigeria that there will be better customer service, there will be better electricity, because we'll have money to pay the gas suppliers, the generators can generate, then we can distribute more. That's what will begin to happen. It's a steady progress, but it will take time for everything to kick in, and that's what we're saying.
Let's talk just very quickly about the meters. You talked about some smart meters coming on, and you also said there are about 5 million Nigerians who don't have meters.
Yes.
Now with this new tariffs and the new things going to come on board in the next couple of days, are we going to see more companies or more homes?
What I call aggressive metering. You are going to see more metering going on. We're already rolling out the meters, but this one will double up, and there'll be lot more meters. It is in our interest to meter our customers, because if I meter you, I can measure what you consume. You're talking about overbilling. There are a lot of underbilling going on. That I can tell you. So we are going to embark on aggressive metering across the board throughout the nation.
Mr. Sunday Oduton, thank you so much for coming to
Thank
clarify
you.
some of those issues, even though it's a bittersweet pill that we have to swallow, but thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Sunday Oduton is the Executive Director, Association of Nigerian Electricity Distributors, and like I said, it's a bitter pill, but we have to swallow it. It's something that we're starting February with. Nigerians will have to pay more for whatever power they consume. In the days ahead, we'll see how that turns out. But that's it on today's edition of the program. Many thanks for staying with us. I'm Harriet Agbenyi. Have a great weekend and a profitable day. Bye-bye.